I keep saying it. He the best player in football. Who? Defense getting the game ball.
Yo, what's up? It's Chris Simms. It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Connor Rogers is here. It's the Tuesday YouTube Live. We're here right in front of you right now. We got plenty to talk about. Honestly, I think it's the best Monday night of the year that we just had there. Two really good games. I think both teams that the public didn't expect.
Right.
You know,
that's the difference.
The underdogs won.
Yep.
That was kind of cool. There was lots of storylines to talk about with both football teams.
Three young quarterbacks.
Exactly.
And a superstar quarterback.
Exactly right. That all look like they're going in that direction.
That is absolutely
no
right.
doubt about that. And I'm not surprised by the results. I'm not. I told everybody all week. I picked the Bills. I didn't have the guts to take Atlanta, but I said on the Picks podcast, I said Atlanta matches up well with them. Watch out. They can pull off the upset. I did pick the Bears to win. I don't know if I deserve to win that. We'll deep dive into that as well a little bit here. But, man, it was a good night, man, and we got plenty to talk about.
You know what it is? You say you don't deserve to win that, but you'll lose some that you didn't deserve to lose,
you're
so
right.
it evens out.
You're right about that.
Like, that's football. Like, it's going to be rainy, and the ball's going to slip out sometimes, and you're going to get lucky or you're going to get unlucky.
No, and so some of those guys are probably like, that was payback for last year. We didn't deserve to lose on the Hail Mary.
Right.
So, right.
So that's exactly how it goes. Dude, we got an awesome show. The film room. We're looking at the 49ers offensive line. Why can't the 49ers? The 49ers can't run the ball.
Right.
Like, think about how ridiculous that sounds.
It is.
Efficiently.
Yeah.
Volume-wise, they find a way to get to 100 yards sometimes.
Yeah.
But actually efficiently. So you dived into the film. We're going to break that down. Of course, we have the first, unfortunate firing of the year. Callahan let go by the Titans and what the Titans do now. Fun segment at the end of this. We're going to do fun hang, tough hang.
Yeah.
Could be a team, could be a player, could be
Right.
a situation. We'll explain it all when we get there. We're live on YouTube, so get the comment section rolling. We'll shout you guys out. We always love to hear you guys and get involved in the show. But let's jump right back to the doubleheader, Chris. Monday Night Football. We start with the Falcons' upset win over the Bills. I mean, it's quite simple when the Bills lose or are in a dogfight, Chris. They get run over.
That's right.
The front seven lets the running backs to the second level. They don't tackle well.
Nope.
And you cannot live that way against Bijan Robinson, who is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You heard Raheem. I'm so happy for Raheem. I really am. I mean, I think the world of Raheem. I've known him for a long time. He was one of my real good buddies when I played down there in Tampa Bay, and he was a secondary coach or assistant secondary coach under Mike Tomlin, right? He's a brilliant defensive mind. He's got great energy, right? The first time with Tampa Bay, I don't think he got a fair shake as a head coach. He was young, and it got thrusted upon him, I think, a little bit before it should have been. And then they weren't willing to spend money to back it up and back him up. And then, remember, they fired him. They brought in Greg Schiano, and they spent all this money everywhere for everybody. So I don't think he's gotten a fair shot here. And I think, finally, he's got a team and a place that believes in him. He's allowed to put his mark on the football team with the personnel there. And, yes, I was impressed. Now, back to what you talked about, right? This is the thing I question. You've heard me questioning about it ever since the season started.
Yeah.
When you can run the football and you have an O-line, it doesn't even matter how good your passing game is. But when you put Buffalo in the bind of, oh, no, they're going to steamroll us. And I get back to Buffalo is just not big enough on defense. And some of their big guys are just not that good. They're a little older, so it's a double whammy. Then you got small linebackers to go on top of that, right? Without your best linebacker playing in
right,
that
you're hurt
lineup.
at linebacker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're hurt. You're hurt there. And because of that, what does it do to them? It's the second week in a row we've seen on national TV, just like the Patriots game, where they have to overplay the run game to such an extent. Now the pass game takes off. And Michael Penix was on his game last night.
Yes.
I mean, he was throwing freaking laser beams around the football field.
The ball looks different.
I mean, there were some times where I literally was like, Drake London, what? The touchdown catch.
Right.
I mean, I told my wife, I was like, look how hard he threw that ball.
120 miles an hour.
And he was literally like, it was like, it was either catch it or it's going to get stuck in your face mask. And then he does the great job of reaching the ball out. But, yeah, I thought Penix, the way they called the game on the offensive side of the ball, all that impressive. And, yeah, the Bills are – I know they're going to stay in the conversation of one of the better AFC teams. But the way they're built and the way they play – again, I'll say it like I've always said it. I don't know if that's Super Bowl caliber, and that's what I worry about. And, we can dive into it more, but I think they're a team that needs to maybe look at doing something at the trade deadline here.
We do apologize to the homies.
Yeah.
We didn't have sound for some of the start of that.
Is that right?
We're back now.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That was such a good rant.
It was really good.
Yeah.
People will hear it eventually. Some of the people in the chat were blaming Pete.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, but Pete's not here today.
He's not
so
here, so you got to actually give him a little grace.
You
on
can
this
blame
one.
the older guy named Matt Casey who didn't know how to press the sound button yet, so he's just learning.
But we're back. And listen, I mean, let's go back to the good with the Falcons, and let's talk about the Bills going into a bye week because they're going to have some things that they got to work on.
Right.
With the Falcons, and you texted this, you're like, we got to track the play action game.
Yeah, right.
So 9 dropbacks in play action. Penix was 5 of 6 on those dropbacks, which you think of that, okay, but what does all that mean? He averaged almost 15 yards per attempt.
Yes.
So when they go play action, he is comfortable throwing howitzers down the field. He also had an 8-yard scramble on one of the dropbacks. So all the space it created, it's Michael Penix. It's not Lamar Jackson. He had all that space to run. So why do you think play action, he's so comfortable in play action? Because he looks mechanically even smoother in play action.
He does. And, of course, why wouldn't you want to do it more? And we've been here talking about why don't you do it more? Zach Robinson, the OC, he came from the Rams. So they're the masters at play action pass. So you and I have always been like, why are they not doing that?
And you have Bijan Robinson.
You got one of the best run games in football. It's the number one thing everybody worries about when they play Atlanta is going, oh, no, their O-line's good and Bijan Robinson. What do we do off of that? So it's good to see them doing more of this. I would sit here and go, they could have even done more last night. They could have. Now, one, he's got a big arm. Right? So he can take advantage of play action passes for the most part are usually more aggressive and down the field. So he's going to be able to, make those throws. And a guy like him, he can make them with ease. He doesn't have to give it the old steroid grunt to throw a 25-yard laser, right? His hands are gigantic, his arms are long as hell, and he can throw those type of balls without very little effort. The other reason I like this and why I love it for young quarterbacks, and you've heard me say this before, it opens up the field. For all the reasons you talked about. One, usually there's a lot of space for the quarterback between the line of scrimmage and where he is after the play action fake. So you feel protected, you feel good. You can usually, now because you're so far behind everything, you can see lanes if you have to move to the point you brought up, right? So that's good. And then within that, think about it. Oh, we fake it to Bijan. The linebackers run up. Oh no. And then they have to turn around. So that space that's created between them and the third level of safeties is now so open as well. It's great sight lines for a quarterback. It's like, oh, wow, it doesn't feel like they have 11 guys out there on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that is why I want to see them dial it up more. And, hey, they're still missing a speed element on their passing offense, right? They need Darnell Mooney back. If they get him back and then continue down this path of play action, watch out. They're going to be scary. Right? But nonetheless, I still think these are good ways to do it with Drake London, who's so big and physical and knows how to work routes. And now you give him time off the play action, he's going to almost be impossible to cover in those type of situations.
Really good night for the Falcons offense and really good night for their defense as well, which kind of transitions us to the Bills offense in this. I mean, Josh Allen, 15 of 26, 180 yards. He throws the 2 touchdowns. He throws 2 picks. Jeff Ulbrich has these guys rolling right now, and there's a lot of young guys on this defense as well.
A lot of young guys. Ulbrich, we know, is Seattle's scheme, but then with Raheem, it's a little bit of Raheem concoction. It's not totally what Ulbrich did with the Jets, right? I think there's a little more to their defense. Because Raheem, sure, he was in Tampa, and Tampa 2 became Seattle 3. That's what it is. If everybody just wants to know the base story of it, that's what it is. Pete Carroll, he hired Gus Bradley. He was down there in Tampa with us. Gus was like, hey, we stopped running Tampa 2. We like this cover 3. This is what we're doing. He brought it to Seattle, and that's where it started. Ulbrich, of course, was a part of that whole process and everything there. But Raheem grew his defense in times when he was in L.A. and there. And it became more versatile and more schematically advanced. So I think between that and what Ulbrich does, it's a great combination. And I think the number one thing that jumps out to me about Atlanta, watching them in a standalone game, first off, it's arguably the fastest defense in football. That's the one thing you saw right away. I think Josh Allen very early in the game went, whoa, it's me scrambling, me buying time?
Yeah.
Like, I better watch out. I better get down. Like, there was a few times I thought early in the game where he tried to move, and he was just like, whoa, they got on me so quick. Let me just go limp and go down because I'm going to get caught in a bad spot here, right? So that jumps out to me. And, of course, they got some young talent and a lot of versatility up front with I think, an underrated secondary when it's all said and done. And they got it going. And I don't know, does people realize that Atlanta's the #1 defense in football and the #2 offense in football? I mean, to me here, it's like they're a team that's tip of the iceberg, could be watch out here as we go forward.
And they're not that healthy, like you just said. I mean, they're clearly missing their speed element in Darnell Mooney. They've had injuries on the offensive line.
Right.
They're playing a lot of young players on this defense.
They are.
That can be Jekyll
and one
Hyde.
of their good ones wasn't out there last night, in Billy Bowman, right? Who I think is another guy where I go, 3 rockets up his ass, flies around, kamikaze, fits exactly how they want to play in Atlanta.
And to your point about the hybrid of Raheem and Ulbrich, it seems like what they like to do is they'll throw in man coverage when it's a long down and distance.
Yes.
It's like so they ran cover 1 8 times last night of the 57 defensive snaps, which isn't a ton, but they like to do it on 2nd and 10, 1st and 10, or 3rd and 10. They don't like doing it when there's a short amount of distance to go.
Yeah.
So it almost put them in more aggressive spots, and they trusted their guys to get it done.
I think you do that maybe for 3 reasons, let's say. One, I think for the second week in a row, we saw teams go in passing situations like, screw the Bills. They're not that scary at receiver. Yeah. We'll man them up, just like the Patriots did.
Keon Coleman couldn't get anything. Nothing.
A.J. Terrell is one of the better cornerbacks in football that nobody really knows and doesn't get put up in that stratosphere. I think there's that. I think the other element within them doing that, especially against Buffalo, is like if you play zone and you rush 4 or 5, and you rush 4 especially, he's going to buy time, and he's going to manipulate the zone and find the completion. I think they took the approach last night of like, let's send 5, let's play man-to-man, let's not let him run. We believe our pass rushers and some of the stuff, drop 1, blitz 1, drop 1, blitz 2, and how we orchestrate that. I thought they did a good job a few times of kind of exposing the protection of the Bills, and they had a good knock or beat on that as well. And I think they took that approach. Like, we think we can cover him, and we're not going to let Allen sit back there all day. And they got after him, and I was thoroughly impressed with the game plan on both sides of the ball.
You're absolutely right, Chris. The numbers passed the eye test. So the Bills had 38 pass plays. The Falcons blitzed on 61% of those pass plays. But it was all really simulated pressures, the 4-man rush where you bring somebody, you overload, or on 57% of them it was just a 5-man rush.
Yeah.
So they never kind of went for it, really. They weren't like, okay, here comes 7, and you got to just get the ball out. They went with more of what you said, kind of trying to fool them a little bit.
He trying to do that. And I think, everybody knows that listens to my pod, I'm always a guy that I don't love the 5-man pressure.
Yeah.
But Raheem kind of is known to live in that. And Atlanta, I don't think, is going to change off of that. Raheem, one, they're a zone team for the most part, like you've explained, that will dabble in man, and they're unbelievable. I know how Raheem teaches it. They teach route reading. That's what they do. Hey, if this guy goes in, the number 2 receiver is going to go out, and the number 3 receiver is going to do this off of it. So they're really good and well-schooled in that department. They're not terribly big up front, right? They're more created on chaos, and I think that's why they rush 5 a lot. One, they don't want the quarterback to have all day, but 2, they know that they're the type that our 4 big defensive linemen can just hold down the fort in the run game. No, they usually know they got to bring another guy in there to stop some of the run game stuff and all that, and they're one of the few teams that can pull it off on a regular basis where I don't complain about it a whole lot.
So clearly you agree with Michael Penix, who said the Falcons are legit.
I think it's official. The blemish everybody's going to look at to go is the Carolina game. And yes, he played horrible, and the game's a little misleading too. Yeah, it was 30-0, right? But it wasn't like Carolina's offense played good. It was more Michael Penix, mistakes on the offensive side of the ball, missed field goal. They did a lot of dumb stuff that day. But yes, I believe we are going, after what I saw last night, on a trajectory of watch out for Atlanta. And to the point where I say it and I go, gosh, I thought Tampa might run away with this 2 weeks ago, to now I go, no, Atlanta ain't going anywhere. Like, Tampa's going to have to stay on the gas pedal a little bit, because I get the sense that the Falcons are only going to get better. This is a jump-off spot. This is only going to make Michael Penix feel better. I think they're going to look at the film and go, why aren't we calling play action pass more? And the defense is only going to stick their chest out more too. So, yeah, I'm pretty pumped about the Atlanta Falcons, what do I want to say? Future, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
Trying to enter the upper echelons?
The upper echelons. Yeah. They're trying to get there.
Their best.
Right.
The Bills, on the other hand, despite back-to-back losses, they're still +3. They are +300 now to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. That is via DraftKings. So
crazy.
Yeah, they got things to work on in the bye week. But the problem is, I don't know. Work on is the right. It's just kind of their personnel is what it is on defense.
That's what you worry about. You worry about that, and I sit here again and still go. Gosh, I'd love to see one more receiver that could really just fly and make something happen on the offense. I still think they're one weapon short. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I am. I like the Bills, but as you saw in my text messages last night, I still think it's all too Josh Allen centric. The whole team and how they play, even on defense, is revolved around Josh Allen. It's all about, can you get the lead for us, Josh Allen, so we don't have to play run defense, and now we can play Sean McDermott crazy pass defenses and do that off of it, right? And that's just, it's too hard to win like that week in and week out in the NFL. And we sit here after 6 weeks, and I go, has they really played a really awesome game yet? Why are we so pro-Bills? Again, it's back to our quarterback thing. It's like people betting on the Ravens and the Bills still. And it's just like, look at the rest of the team. There's concerns there on both sides of the ball. Weapon on offense, defensively. They need Maxwell Harrison back.
Right.
That's a big thing. Get him back with Benford and Teron Johnson. Maybe you can dabble in man-to-man more and now stop some of these run game issues. That's one big thing I can look at. And do they want to make some type of move maybe for another corner, or is there going to be another D tackle or D lineman out there on the market that they feel like they can get coming down the home stretch that can help their football team out right now? Because, like I said, the Bills, I love Josh Allen. He's one of the greatest I've ever seen. But I don't sit here going, the Bills are a Super Bowl football team as we sit here right now. No way. And if you made me pick right now, I'm taking New England to win the AFC East. They have more ways to win, more ways to play, more versatility throughout their full team compared to the Bills, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
You look at the schedule here. New England's going to they're going to go on this little run.
Yeah.
They're already started.
Right. They got like 5 games in a row where they're clearly the better team, right?
Basically, if Drake May, he doesn't have to play the way he's been playing. If he's average, they are going to win their next couple of games.
Yeah, right.
So it's good. Both of these divisions right now are fascinating. All of a sudden, the AFC and admittedly, like nobody really thought they'd be this interesting. Where I know you were high on the Patriots. I was actually high on the Falcons, but didn't think they'd be hanging around the Bucs.
I don't know if I did either.
Right.
I had to see it first.
Yeah, I had to actually see it. But
Carolina's a little better than we thought.
Yeah, they're punchy.
Right.
Like they're not.
And I don't think we've seen the best of Tampa Bay yet because they're not healthy on either side of the ball. So yes, it's a crazy year. A lot of new suspects in the playoff conversation. That's a lot of fun, and that's at the start of the show. If you weren't listening, that's what, or when our mics weren't working. That's what was awesome about last night is we saw 2 underdog teams. It was 2 good games. It was young, budding superstar quarterbacks. There was a ton of storylines last night, and it just, to me, made it the most fun Monday night of the year so far.
Yeah, and that helped came from the second game. The Bears beat the Commanders with no time left. I think really the headline, Chris, the headline in question is, Caleb versus Jayden Daniels.
Yep, right.
Did we learn anything from last night? Because last year, if you're Caleb Williams, you're like, man, like everybody's just talking about Jayden Daniels for the good reason.
Sure.
But Caleb is taking steps forward this year. And it's not that Jayden Daniels is taking steps backwards, but Washington's had a little bit of an uneven year as they've also dealt with a lot of injuries.
Would agree with that for sure. I mean, Jayden Daniels is so good. He's so good. Like, Jayden Daniels has already arrived for my money. When I look at it, I just go, I think Jayden Daniels is already one of the 5, 6, 7 best quarterbacks in the sport. He just plays the position unbelievable. He made some mistakes last night. His mistakes were big, right? I mean, they were big.
Think about how we react to that.
I know.
Like, I'm watching the game, like, oh my God, I can't believe he threw an interception.
I know, right?
And then I stop myself, and I'm like, he's his second year in the NFL.
But that's how good he is. He's a machine. He really is. And then, of course, the fumbled, exchange with the running back at the end of the game. He's there. And I continue to be amazed by Cliff Kingsbury and the offense. He has found the formula to put defenses in such a bind. I don't think defenses know what the hell to do a lot of the times. They put you in a bind with, one, their running game and their offensive line is better than I have ever given it credit for, right? Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's good, a.k.a. Bill, right? He's good. Then also, the other part of that is So now you have to defend that part. You have to defend the quarterback run game and the read option RPO stuff off of that. That's a handful with a guy like Jayden Daniels. Then you have to, off of that, they have a surgical short passing game.
Yes.
Right? I mean, he is automatic. Any 5-7 yard throw, it's just like perfect decision, perfect throw every freaking time. So they do that. Within that formula right there, they put you in such an extent, and they can just bleed you out with 5 yards here, 6 yards here. Oh, run up the middle for 7. Oh, 5 yards here, 6 yards here. Oh, it's a throwing situation. We have to stop all these things. Oh, damn. We forgot to put a spy on Jayden Daniels on 3rd and 7 because we're worried about all the other things about stopping them. Now he runs for a first down. That's where they're incredible. And he just plays such a mature brand of football. And he's a system quarterback who's not a system quarterback, right? He can make the system work exactly how the OC wants it. And yet when the system fails, he's like, don't worry, I got it. I'll take care of it. I'll scramble. I'll buy some time. I'll make a throw. Don't worry. And that's where, and because defenses are so sick of these slow deaths that they give you, that's why you see people wide open down the field every now and then, right? Like on the touchdown to Luke McCaffrey, because they're like, wait, screen, short pass. We got to jump it. We got to make some tackles.
They were trying to jump it.
And they're worried about it because they're like, we're sick of losing 5 yards every play. And boom, it's a touchdown. So that's the Washington part that I'm extremely impressed with. Jayden Daniels is the man. You want me to go on Caleb Williams?
Yeah, but somehow after all that, they lost the game. That's just crazy.
I know.
And I know it was not fluky because these things happen in football, but I think it was a little bit of a gut punch. If you're a Commanders fan or you're a Commanders coach, it's like, wow, how did that just happen?
Yeah, right. I feel like, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like the Commanders probably played better football or were the better team on the field, but not by so much that, a few mistakes doesn't sway that.
Yep.
And not by so much that I go, the Chicago Bears who are continuing to grow, that might not be the same conversation 6 or 7 weeks from now, where if they played each other again, I'd go, oh, no, the Bears are actually as good or better now than Washington. They're in the process of still kind of building the machine there under Ben Johnson. I thought they blew opportunities early in the game, right? That was the big thing. Those 2 field goal drives, especially one with the short field after the fumble, you just go, man, you got a chance there to go up 2 or 3 scorers really early, not be up 13-0. Maybe you could be up 17-0 or 21-0. That was a little bit deflating, right? That to me. But nonetheless, the fact that they hang around there and you could see the offense is dangerous. Shows you moments of going, holy crap, it's scary. I feel like, and my thoughts on Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams' physical ability is as good as anybody in football. It's as good as anybody ever in the history of football. That's how good it is. But he does need to let the system work for him still a little bit better, right? He's still a little at times, and he's getting better. We know that. Yep. But there's still at times where you go, oh, just hit 5, take a hitch, throw the ball. Like, don't look for something else or something better, or let me buy time and make a big scramble play here. That, to me, is the only thing that's kind of holding him back still. He doesn't work or trust the system to Jayden Daniels' capacity. And, of course, he hasn't had to his whole life. So I think between that and that, the Bears are still going through a crash course of like, wait, we're going to this formation, we're shifting to this, and we called 2 plays, and within those 2 plays, wait, I have a bunch of rules in each play that I got to remember because Ben Johnson gives us a lot of stuff. They're still making some mistakes and self-inflicted wounds that you just go, like whether the end of the game, like you saw at the end of the game, the drop, Zacchaeus, right? Zacchaeus, excuse me. He drops that ball over the middle late in the game. You go, is he going to go 80 yards for a touchdown?
Right.
He's gone, it looks like.
Yeah.
They got him singled up on Bobby Wagner. But then we had the other good play right before that. DJ Moore lined up off sides, I believe, or false started.
Rome Odunze got a touchdown called back.
Right.
Like, there was a couple in
They have some things there where it seems like it's every week where they just got to iron things out, or they're just getting in the process still of comfortable in this new crash course lesson under the Ben Johnson real deal NFL offense. And, like I said, Caleb's the man, but I still think he's kind of going through a learning process. Jayden had the great advantage of running the same system he had in college. coming into the NFL.
The Commanders had a really good plan.
So they really did. So I don't think people realize that, and that's what makes him surgical when he's back there dropping back to pass.
And the Bears use a lot of people in their pass game.
Isn't it unreal?
I mean, listen to the snap counts just off of the pass game.
Right.
Rome Odunze is their alpha receiver. He
Right.
played 35. That's no surprise. And then DJ Moore played 34. But Olamide Zaccheaus played 29. Luther Burden played 15.
More and more every week.
They use both the tight ends.
Right.
Colston Loveland played 17 of those receiving snaps. Cole Kmet played 14. And then Kyle Monangai was out there for 12. And, of course, Swift was out there for 16.
It's
like,
amazing.
There's a lot of – and that was the Lions.
They make you defend a lot of people, a lot of different things. And Ben Johnson's a believer. Like most really good offensive coordinators, he goes, wait, I like this guy to do this.
Yes.
So I want to – he runs this route really good. This guy runs this route really good. And that's where, he's an artist as far as being an OC that way. Other thing I think we got to hit on, too, just for the Bears' perspective. I do feel like they're getting a hold of they're doing the same thing on the defensive side of the ball, too. Dennis Allen is a genius on defense.
Right.
He's got a million different defenses and rules, and it feels like they're getting more comfortable. And I felt like last night, and Troy Aikman alluded to this early in the game, it was the first night where I went, Chicago's D front. Like, they were bringing it all night long. I mean, they really were. They were physical. They were in the backfield on Jayden Daniels. They could maybe be a little more disciplined in their pass rush lanes and stuff like that. But I was impressed by that aspect. That was a big win for the Bears. The Bears, I don't feel as strongly about them as maybe I do the Falcons and what they can do. But, do I think the Bears can stay in the playoff conversation and maybe find themselves in the playoffs when all's said and done? Yeah, I do. I think they have that type of potential. But, the quarterback and the offense got to still continue to go in the right direction because it's on them. The defense is good, but I don't expect them to carry the team. It's going to have to be the offense and Caleb Williams, and hopefully they can do that.
And a little bit of redemption for Jake Moody. Everybody was sweating that out. And you know what I liked? I liked that Ben Johnson didn't. A lot of coaches just settle for these 55-yard field goals.
Way to go.
Ben Johnson was like,
this, right?
we are not doing
way.
this right now with a kicker that already has confidence issues. We are getting as far down as we can.
Yep.
And we are going to kick from a reasonable distance
Good for
because
Jake
they
Moody.
can. And good for Jake Moody, who's had a tough run of it.
I think he's still good.
He's drafted in the third round for a reason.
Yeah, right. You get in your head as a kicker sometimes. Right. And then when you're a third-round pick, like you said, the pressure's even more because everybody looks at it, and especially with a kicker, they go, oh, my gosh, we laced a third-round kicker on this guy? Oh, my gosh, how horrible is that? And so, now he's back in Chicago with the Michigan fan base around him in Chicago and all that. He's going to feel like he's at home that way. Hopefully it works for him. I always feel bad for these kickers when they get in their own heads a little bit.
The Bears won 25-24 on back-to-back weeks. Listen to this. The last time a team won consecutive games by the same one-point score was 1926.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That is from Courtney Cronin on Twitter. Who does a great job covering the Bears.
Panthers.
Against the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets.
That's amazing.
Over the Detroit Panthers.
That's incredible.
Unbelievable.
That's Matt Casey loves an odd score or scoregami.
Scoregami.
He loves that, right? So, but that is so rare to see that 2 weeks in a row. And, good for the Bears. They're building some culture there, and I think are going to be a real pain in the butt in the NFC.
All right, we get the final word here from Trog Dog in the comments section. Lady Luck kicked the Commanders in the nuts.
Yeah, I think
eloquently spoken.
That's a fair thing to say. I would agree with that, and I think the other aspect too is, Jayden Daniels being banged up, having missed a few games. It could also be why he's not as sharp, or it wasn't as sharp in some of those moments as we usually see him. Like you said, that interception is rare to see him throw a ball late down the middle, right? Guy was kind of there. He was late to get to it. Either way, though, the Commanders, I don't love their D, but Dan Quinn does a good job of knowing when to be aggressive, giving little change-ups here and there, right? But I got questions about their D. Certainly, I don't think Lattimore is the same player. You worry about their ability to stop the run unless they load the line of scrimmage. I certainly think Washington is going to be in this conversation all along. But, do I think they're going to be as good as last year? I've been saying that all along. I don't think that. I mean, last year was 5 losses. We're already at 3. And they got some tough games coming on their schedule, too. So they got some work to do in Washington.
I feel like I fall into this trap every year, but I actually think this is going to be the most active NFL trade deadline we've ever had.
I hear you.
I think there's too many teams that are close and want to like kind of fix their little holes in the ship.
I feel like we come in almost every Monday and do our review, and we go, I just feel like they're missing this one guy for their team or this. And these are teams that we're talking that are 4-2. And like you're saying, in the playoff conversation where they're going to go, wait, if we get this one guy, this could be the year we go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I agree with you.
We need a number 3 corner. We need a 2-gapping defensive tackle. We need a pass-catching running back.
Exactly right.
I think there'll be a lot of transactions because these teams should go for it.
Yeah.
Like the Bills should go get help. The Commanders should go get help.
Definitely. We brought up the Denver Broncos on Monday.
They need that receiver.
They need a receiver, something explosive there. Is there a guy out there who's a number 2 or a number 3 on one of the lesser teams where they go, ooh, he can take the top off the defense and be that guy? Yeah, there's quite a few like that. So it'll be interesting, and I think you're right. I think this is the year, finally. I always get my hopes up, too, and that's a dud.
I know.
I think this year we get an explosion.
We fall into it every single time. This one from Joe in the comments. The smartest thing the Bears could do is go after Breece Hall. It's interesting coming off DeAndre Swift's best game of the season.
Yeah.
They do need a number 2 or maybe more of a committee. I liked Kyle Monangai a lot at Rutgers.
Right.
It just feels like a bit of a lot to ask right now.
Right, and it doesn't seem like Roschon Johnson really impresses them. They try to give him the ball here and there.
I do think Breece will be traded, though, by the way, to that question's point. I don't know if it'll be to the Bears. I think Breece will be moved.
You think? Yeah, it sounds like Breece is going to be moved. I don't think it'll be the Bears either. I don't see them taking that type of move. Let me just look. Like the Bears, if I look at them, I don't think they're going to do anything on the offensive side of the ball.
I don't think so either. Because they're in the offseason.
They're too damn good. They need to carry the team already, and they're in the process. To me, they would be another team that we can get in the conversation of, is there another D lineman out there that could, D tackle or even another pass rusher?
Sure.
Where I'd go, that could help them out. Those, to me, are the area they need to look at. They got a lot of assets and all their money, and a lot of that is on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think you put more into that. I think now it's time to shift to the defense and have confidence that the offense will continue to get better as they're rewiring the robot, like I've talked about so much with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and the rest of the offensive guys.
All right, reminder to the comment section. We need your fun hang, tough hang in the comments. We'll read through them. Chris and I will have ours. That's at the end of the episode. Up next, Chris looked at the film to figure out why the 49ers, coached by the best run game play caller in the NFL, cannot run the ball efficiently this year. We'll have it for you right after this.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code CORNERBACK when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
What were you seeing as far as progress in the run game?
What am I seeing? Well, last week you didn't see much statistically at all. Kind of had an idea going into the game how big of a challenge that was going to be. Wasn't proud of the production in terms of yards and everything, but I was extremely proud of how our team got over 30 carries. When you can do that and you're only averaging under 3, that means you're doing a lot of good things. You're staying out there, you're executing, you're doing good on third down. But it's, we missed some opportunities earlier in this year. Got a little harder versus the Rams. It's going to get harder this week versus Tampa Bay. But we just got to keep pressing away.
That was Kyle Shanahan discussing the 49ers run game, which has been shockingly just unlike them,
right,
Chris.
Right.
The volume has been there, but 82.2 yards a game, that's 30th in the NFL. 3.06 yards a carry, that's dead last. I think the question I threw to you before we started this exercise, is this a personnel issue?
Yeah.
Is this a schematic issue?
Right.
Or is it just a blend of everything?
Right. I think this one is one where you go, it's personnel all the way, right? I mean, Shanahan is arguably the most creative run game designer in the sport,
He knows
right?
what he's doing here.
And he's a little bit handcuffed right now. If you do watch them, they're not as schematically fun to watch in the run game, but that's because he doesn't trust his personnel to do some of those things, right? I think that's the big thing we're talking about here. He talked about, they're like you're saying, their attempts. They're great. They have great patience that way. They're running the ball right now just to keep the defense honest and so they can keep their own play-action pass. That's the only reason they're running the ball sometimes. I think they know, like, hey, we're not going to get many yards here. Let's just run it up the middle, make them keep thinking about it. Let's lean on them a little bit. Let's just not let them tee off in the pass game all game long and do that. That's what they're trying to do. He talked about, you saw there, they had missed some opportunities early against some bad defenses where I think he thought, oh, man, we should have been able to run the ball against these guys, or we messed up a few plays where this could have been a big play and we blocked it wrong, whatever. Now, that's not the case the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks is ass whooping. Right. I mean, that's all there is to it. Right off the bat, you don't need to watch film with the 49ers. Just know this. Right? You saw my notes. No one's scary at wide receiver, so that's going to allow teams to load the box and do that. Yeah. How good is the O-line actually? Right? How good is it? And we're going to break that down. So you get into that. And then they're also missing George Kittle, who's one of the best run-blocking tight ends in the sport. So those are all three things that really hurt. But the bottom line is, and before we get into it, is the interior part of the O-line is just not good, plain and simple. And I would say the two guards, it's not just okay, it's bad. They're bad. And the center, Jake Brendel, is a good player, but he's not. He's a good player in the sense of he can do the thing Shanahan asks a center to do, because he asks them to do some physically tough stuff with, hey, help here, and then run and get the linebacker over here, right? Athletic stuff that's where he's good. But when he has to play top-tier nose tackles like a Vita Vea or somebody else, he's not the kind of guy that's going to win those battles, right? So he's kind of like a system center. But the interior part of their O-line is clearly the problem, and the two guards are really a big problem in their run game right now.
Between Dominic Pooney and Connor Colby?
Yes, right. It's domination in the run game. They don't move anybody out of the way. Shanahan's famous for some of his creative pulling guard plays and all that. They pull and do that, but they lose battles against safeties and linebackers and don't create any space for McCaffrey. And then they get their ass whooped. Sorry, London, all right, and that one in the pass game too. And a lot of the times you're looking at Mac Jones getting hit or whatever else, it's because of the interior part of the O-line. So, yes, that is the number one thing that is holding them back right now. And they're just trying to run the ball to keep you honest. And their pass game, drop-back pass game, is actually as good as I've ever seen it with Shanahan. More ideas.
With Mac Jones.
It's great right now. And, of course, McCaffrey's been awesome in the pass game on top of that.
It's interesting you bring up maybe the lack of trust in the personnel, because you look at their numbers and by how they've done with certain run schemes. Like when they run pull, lead, or power, which isn't often. They've only done it 16 times this year. They're averaging over 5 yards a carry on those few attempts. But they're a heavy outside zone team, 3.2 yards per carry.
Right.
Inside zone, under 3 yards a carry. And their man runs, under 3 yards per carry.
Yeah.
So, they are getting flashes of success with the puller, but they don't lean on it.
No, they don't lean on it, because I think there's so many other plays, too, where they go, wait, we did this, and we got destroyed with this guy at some point. I think they're trying to live on the outside edge of the run game. Like we saw like the Bears last night. They said the hell with running out the ball up the middle. At the end of the game, they started to go, if Washington put everybody there, let's toss the ball outside. You look at the 49ers, you said it, the outside zone, some of their good runs the other day, they were like, the hell with running inside. We give up. We're going to go outside and try to make something happen there. It's interesting you said that there's a little more success with the pulling guards.
The sample is so small, but when they've done it, it's gone well.
It's hit.
Well, listen to this. This is jarring.
Right.
Outside zone, they have 72 outside zone runs this year.
Right.
They've been stuffed, which is no gain or a loss.
Right.
On 17 of them.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, when you really get down to the numbers, that means almost like 1/5 of the time you're almost losing yards.
For Shanahan to be calling that much, to me, also speaks to he doesn't trust things up front. He's like, let me just go to my bread and butter, my outside zone. Guys know what they're going to do. But, of course, everybody knows that's his bread and butter, and they're all over it. So, yeah, that's crazy. One of the things that jumps out to you in the game is you do watch and you go, yeah, okay, McCaffrey had 17 for 54. You take away like his 2 top runs of the day, which were like 11 and 9. You go, he had like 15 for like 30. Or, I mean, literally like around there where there's nothing at all. Shanahan's doing as good a job, I think, coaching as on the offensive side of the ball as almost he's ever had. I mean, they're making it work in a way that he doesn't make it work all the time. And it does look like the pass game has a few more ideas. If I was ever critical of Shanahan in the past, I'd always go, his drop-back passing game could use a few more ideas and wrinkles to it. I can't say that from what I've seen this year, and especially the last few weeks. He's got 9 million wrinkles to everything, and they're staying competitive and winning games because of the drop-back pass game, but I don't know how much longer that's sustainable either. And that's what you worry about as we play better defenses with better D-lines. They've had a very favorable schedule to this point.
Yeah.
And we saw with Tampa, who's big up front, it gave them issues, and you worry about that if they have to play teams like that as they go forward.
Homie33 asked a really good question here. Is Trent Williams not the same guy anymore?
Well, he's still good. Is he like, hands down the best left tackle in football? No, that's gone. But if you looked at anybody, like their offensive line, the tackles are still good. They're fine. Colton McKivitz on the right side does a great job. Trent Williams still does a lot of really good stuff too. And he has moments of dominating. So, yeah, I mean, is he, like I said, he's still really good. So I got no issue there watching him. And I've watched him, somewhat closely, really 2 or 3 times on film this year because I've been kind of waiting to go, this has got to fall off to a degree. But, man, it hasn't fallen off much. I mean, he's still freaking awesome.
Another comment here from Jordan Bennett. The lost threat of Debo running the ball and horizontally stretching the D is an issue for the Niners' run game. Colby is a UDFA rookie getting worked right now, and Pooney has regressed, and Brendel, he meant to type, is subpar.
Well, exactly right. Yeah, that's right. Pooney has regressed.
That's kind of how you opened with.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me ask you something then on the Colby discussion.
Yeah.
Like, at what point did the Niners, I'm not saying it has to be top 15 pick after top 15 pick, but maybe put a little bit more resources into this. And Pooney was a third rounder. Which isn't nothing.
Right. They missed on Aaron Banks, right, who didn't work for them.
Let him walk to Green Bay for a lot of money.
Go to Kansas City, who was a good just rotational. We got an injury.
Yeah, they've let people walk.
They've let some people walk. I think a little bit like Shanahan believes in the offensive line. They're in the process, as we know, of kind of trimming their roster and rebuilding for the future right now. That's what they're really doing, and that's what's awesome about them being 4-2. I think within that, one of the things that we always talk about, like you got to look at some area of your football team to go, we can't be the best at every position in the sport, right? Despite what the Eagles have built and maybe make us think at times. But I think off of that, I think where every team tries to cut a corner in one area, and I feel like the 49ers really throughout the Shanahan era have been a little bit like, Kyle's awesome at coaching the offensive line and the run game. Let's not overpay our O-line. Let's overpay some of these other guys, and Shanahan will figure out how to make it work with the upfront part there. And this year, it's not working. It's too below water for them to even stay above and breathe and make some positive things happen. So I think that's big time. And the point the question made there, I think that the Debo screen game and some of that stuff is certainly a part of it. No doubt about it. To have a guy or some sort of guy in the slot where you go, wait, nickel linebacker who has to kind of worry about that slot guy. Right now, he's just like, hey, I'm out out here, but I'm coming to help the run game. I'm out here, but I'm coming to help the run game. I'm not worried about this so much, and I think that is another aspect that's a very good point by Jordan Bennett.
I like that you open, though, with no George Kittle definitely hurts them. It just allows them to be so multiple. It's like George Kittle's on the field. Our run game doesn't not only suffer, it's
better.
A plus.
It gets better.
And our pass game is a plus.
Our pass game is a plus. Plus, our pass game off our run, which we're better with George Kittle, and now he sneaks behind the linebacker or he blocks down and then goes to the flat on a bootleg and all that. Those are cheap little plays that the 49ers are masters at that we don't go, oh, wow, that's so amazing or awesome. But we go, after every game, they probably, with a George Kittle in there, you go, that was 8 or 10 plays today that George Kittle's, his presence opened up things in the offense. And, yeah, they're missing that as well, along with no heated receiver that scares anybody in football right now.
I mean, that's just all the proof you need of why he's the most valuable tight end in football.
Definitely.
It doesn't necessarily mean the best at one thing, but he's definitely the most valuable tight end
for
in
that
football.
Offense and what they ask of. Yes, he's special that way. His leadership, his personality, all of that. And, yeah, with no Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and Ricky Pearsall not in, yeah, his presence is missed in a big way there, and they need him back.
I think to cap off this conversation, and you're talking about the run game from a 6-week perspective, but I mean, a little credit to Vita Vea and the Bucs defensive line as well, right? And we say on the show all the time, Todd Bowles is just not going to let you run.
No, he's not going to let you run. The thing I like about Todd Bowles, too, this year is he's not going as crazy with 5-man rushes as I've seen in the past. He's just sprinkling it in at certain points here. But your point's real. I mean, Tampa, they got big people. They're physical. I mean, so that's not an easy team to run the ball, no matter who it is. But we're seeing these things every week with the 49ers. So, and there you go. There it is. I mean, it's spot on here. And, again, I don't think it's going to get much better as we go forward. I don't see it and going, oh, wow, watch out. No, I mean, hopefully it can get a little bit better to where defenses have to worry about it. Maybe it takes another jump once they get healthy with some of the receivers and all that to where teams have to change a little how they approach that way. But, yeah, that'll be a big thing. The other thing I want to just say as we go out to give Todd Bowles a little credit, both interceptions, I would go, those are Todd Bowles specials right there. The interception early was a very cool disguise to kind of cloud to cover 2. I think it tricked Mac Jones or the receivers or all of them. Then the interception at the end of the game. I wish I would have written down so we could screenshot it and put it right back here.
Right.
Because they were playing a single safety defense. They blitzed 5, and they got to a Tampa 2 with the blitz in a way that was very unusual to where I think it fooled Mac Jones. He was like, wait, this can't go to 2. I've never seen a look like this. He had a guy running a slot little out route.
Yeah. Right,
and I think he saw Jamel Dean, and he's like, wait, this is single safety.
Yes.
The guy behind him, he didn't cover his guy. He's going to be open. And no, it was an incredible way in which they did it. They had Antoine Winfield down on the weak side, like helping the run. He went to corner on the weak side. The corner went to safety. The middle safety went over the top to where Jamel Dean was, and that's why Jamel Dean didn't have to worry about the guy in the flat because there was another, curl flat nickel area guy there that was there for it as well. So, yeah. Good to see Todd Bowles, even in his older age, changing it up a little bit. Respect to him and the Bucs.
Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks that would have threw that ball. Was my takeaway from watching the overhead of that play.
Exactly
Dean's
right.
eyes played it perfectly.
Exactly right. And Jamel Dean's long, and he's got pretty damn good hands, and he made a nice play on the ball.
We have in the comments, Roten?
Did I probably say that?
I missed it. I'm getting so used to talking to you nonstop is that I went right through it.
Yeah, well,
apparently.
You better keep your ears open.
Oh, my God.
Nobody butchers the English language like me. If you don't watch on a regular basis, Simsisms are a thing, right? I mix up words and phrases or combine phrases all the time. That's just what I do. I get talking, and I can't remember them the right way.
Oh, my God. All right, so last one, and maybe this is ridiculous because of the paycheck, but, I mean, if Brock's healthy, it's back to Brock, right? No matter what Mac has done.
I think so.
Just because if he's earned that, he's the franchise guy.
He's their guy. I don't think Shanahan wants to confuse that. Mac Jones has done really good, but it's not so good that you're just like, oh my gosh, we have to play him, right? So I don't think it's that.
The more interesting question for you is then, do you think somebody will watch this tape in the offseason and try to make Mac Jones their Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold? Like they'll give him a 2-year, $30 million
I definitely
contract.
wouldn't be surprised if he
I
got
think
to
so,
somewhere,
too.
right? It's
Where it's
somewhere where he can. We're going to take you as the bridge quarterback, but if you do better, we'll see, right?
Exactly.
We'll see. I think so, and he needs a system though. That's what we know. He's for your genius OC types because he can handle everything on top of it. But again, I hope this shows a little. I've gotten a lot of hate over the Brock Purdy conversation over the years. I like Brock Purdy, but I've always been like, hey, I don't think he's a top 15 quarterback in football. I wouldn't overpay him. And this is why I wouldn't. You're seeing it. Everybody that plays for Shanahan, if they have just a little talent at all, they put up big stats and big numbers. Like, to me, this would be the area I'd tell, hey, 49ers, Shanahan, John, let's cheat on the quarterback. You get people open, you run the ball all the time. Cheat on the quarterback. Make the rest of the team great. You're one of the teams that I don't think needs a superstar quarterback all the time to make it happen. Yeah, sure, we'd all like one. I get that. But they're not growing on trees, superstar quarterbacks. So, yeah, that's why I fought against that. And I think that's why Brock Purdy really basically took $38 million a year the first 2 years because I think, one, he knows, wait, I'm in a special place. And two, I think the 49ers got the point across to like, hey, you're really good, but everybody does really good here. And let's just see how good you are before we start going to the $50 million a year type of thing too. And that's where I look at it. And I see you're looking up Nick Mullins because
he's who I think of every time.
Well, because he was setting records his first 8 or 9 starts. People were putting them on graphics like, this is the best first 8 games since Kurt Warner or Peyton Manning or whatever. And you're like, this is hilarious that we're saying this.
Yeah,
right.
It was utterly ridiculous. That's who I think of right away. Like, if you ever need to prove the point beyond like hyperbole, it's Nick Mullins.
Exactly right.
So then if you are above the Nick Mullins threshold, you could play in the system.
Exactly
And then it's a matter of how much upside you have.
I mean, we went through a 5 or 6 week period with Nick Mullins where people were trying to, hey, he should be the starting quarterback. He should be the future of the franchise. And I'm here to sift through that kind of bullcrap to tell you, no, you don't want Nick Mullins as your starting quarterback, or you don't want to pay Brock Purdy $58 million a year. He's really good, but he's not that. That's all I'm saying. Much respect to Brock Purdy and the 49ers. We'll see where it all goes here.
All right, we got one more break. When we're back, it's Fun Hang, Tough Hang. Let's hear it in the comments. Your nominees from the past week. Finally, the Titans moving on already from Brian Callahan. Doesn't even see through 2 full NFL seasons.
Yeah.
I think you kind of turn the page right away and talk about the candidate pool. I mean, because now this is a massive decision because this is tied to the number 1 overall pick, their biggest investment in the organization, Cam Ward, right now, and getting this right.
Right. I mean, I'm not surprised at all.
It can't look like that.
Exactly right.
You can lose.
Yes.
Like, you can lose a lot. You can't look lost in game situations, not week after week, quarter by quarter.
Quarter by quarter, big moments. Not saying the right things. Saying the right things at the podium, right? People question your grittiness and toughness at the end of last year. You know, I think they said it right. Like the GM, Mike Borgonzi, right? Yeah. He kind of said, we were looking for growth. He's saying what you're saying. There was no growth. In fact, it looked like they were in neutral or slowly going backwards down the hill, right? In neutral. That's what it looked like. So, yeah. And I think that Cam Ward will be an attraction for most people in this conversation. Right. Now, early candidates, right? Since you guys threw this on my plate
30 seconds ago?
Right before the show. But still, these are fun conversations. I like this. I do. One, right off the bat, I mean, our guy Josh Grizzard, right? Grizzard. I know. I need to figure out how to say it. Grizzard down in Tampa Bay. I mean, it's the Tampa Bay pipeline.
Yeah,
he's going to be in this conversation, right? Jesse Minter out there with the Chargers is another guy that I look at and go, yeah, I like what they do.
Right.
Ever since he got in the NFL, he's shown he belonged. They don't have the best talent in football, but they're a pain in the butt every week on the defensive side of the ball. Is Brian Flores ever going to get back in the conversation?
It's crazy.
I mean, come on. I mean, we're seeing what he's done in Minnesota. We see what he did in Miami. It was not all that bad. I mean, it was good. Let's not forget it was 10-6 and 10-6 his last 2 years there. So that's another one I'll throw in there. Cliff Kingsbury would probably be the number one guy. Cliff Kingsbury right now, I've been critical of Cliff through most of his career in the NFL. I know he was awesome in college. In the NFL, I was like, I like his base offense, but it always feels like week 7 or 8, they run out of tricks. They can't move the ball. People catch on to what they're doing. Not the case last year. Not the case so far from what I see this year. He took a year off and reinvented himself a little bit in how he approaches the football that way. I think that's one where I look at and go, I would be shocked if their offense and Jayden Daniels continues to look the way it looks. How could you not look at Cliff Kingsbury and go, I want him to be our head coach? So those are 4 right off the bat. Anything else? Anybody else come to your mind here?
I have to throw the name out there just because he'll be in the cycle a lot. Mike McCarthy.
Oh yeah, right.
We know the floor, and I think everybody in the hiring cycle right now has a fear of this happening with what just happened with Brian Callahan.
Sure.
Where it's like, wow, we took 10 steps backwards when we were trying to go forwards.
Right.
I know people will be critical of Mike McCarthy, and he's not an exciting hire. It's probably the most boring hire you can make.
But he can steady the ship and get the organization going all in the right direction.
I think he'll get interviews.
I don't disagree with it. He deserves interviews.
Right.
I mean, definitely. I know I've been critical of him before, too, but I'm not really critical of him as the head coach. I get that. I didn't love some of his offense and his play calls in his days with Aaron Rodgers. I thought it was too like, hey, Aaron, save us all the time. But he's gotten better in that part, and we saw, I mean, damn, the results are what they are. I know he didn't win games in the playoffs and didn't go to the NFC Championship game, but damn, the Cowboys were good while he was there.
Right.
Period.
I'll tell you who I would hire in the first hour of him being let go, and I don't know if it's going to happen, Kevin Stefanski.
Oh.
I don't think it's a lock he's the coach of the Browns next year.
I don't think so.
There's a lot there that is just so much turmoil.
At what point does he just go, I don't want to be here anymore? I think his hands are forced or his hands are tied in a lot of the decisions that go on in that organization where he goes, wait, I got to sit here and answer the questions at the podium? All you freaking idiots made these decisions. You get up here and answer.
Exactly.
Hey, owner. Hey, GM. You answer these things. Stop making me look like an idiot. I feel for him at times. John Morton, I know last week, and on tomorrow's pod, we're going to break down the Chiefs' defense a little bit against the Lions and all that. But still, John Morton and what they've done to this point, how could he not be involved in can you help our rookie quarterback who we think has superstar potential? Can you come in here and help him, right? And I would think offensive guys are looked at mostly in Tennessee because they got Cam Ward at quarterback.
Since Mike Vrabel's been fired, the Titans have won 4 games. Mike Vrabel this year has won 4 games.
That's the dumbest firing
of not all time, but it's up there.
Of this decade.
Of this decade, right.
I mean, that is the dumbest crap ever. And I don't really know the full story.
Right.
I feel like I kind of know that him and Rand Carthon weren't on the same page. There was other things in the organization that were being forced and he didn't like and whatever else. And I think a little bit he was like, what the hell is going on? Knowing of Mike Vrabel, he's probably spoke out a little bit behind the scenes, and they were like, you're a handful. We don't want to do it this way, whatever. And they got rid of him. And, yeah, they've been paying for that ever since.
The thing is, how many great coaches don't do that? Think of all the great coaches in NFL history. How many of them aren't outspoken when they think a situation is toxic or not set up right?
You're right.
And more often than not, they're the
right.
ones that's right.
Yes, right. They usually have the best feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agreed. And your points are right. With an owner needs to realize, wait, I got that guy. Yeah, he's tough. But damn, we're tough on the field, right? I mean, Bill Walsh was no cupcake for the 49ers. No cupcake. I mean, Eddie DeBartolo, I mean, they were on him. He was on them. Get us more. Bill Parcells, Chuck Noll back in the day with the Steelers, chippy as hell. Obviously, Jimmy Johnson with Jerry Jones.
Right.
I mean, you can go through the list, right? There are reasons they're head coach is, one, they're smart. They have great feel for the game, and they're stubborn and determined in what they need or think is right for a football team.
All right, it's time for Fun Hang, Tough Hang.
Here we go.
We're going to read these from the comments as they roll in.
I'm interested to hear what the comments got.
I'm going to kick things off here, Chris.
Yeah.
My fun hang is the easiest one in the world.
Right.
It is Baker Mayfield's Bucs right now. Who wouldn't want to be in that locker room rallying behind the leader that is Baker Mayfield? What I love about this team is, and I said this on an earlier show with you, but it doesn't matter who the next man up is. I feel like he instills the confidence, whether it's Tez Johnson, Cameron Johnson, old man Sterling Shepard at this point.
Right.
This guy is, I think, the easiest player to follow in the NFL right now. The Bucs are a great hang.
I would say so. I mean, he's maybe him and Josh Allen are the most fun to watch, right? Josh Allen's in the fun hang almost every night. I mean, even last night, it doesn't go
win
good.
or
It's
lose.
still fun, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God, he still does things that's crazy. But I'm with you with Baker. And then his pizzazz and his attitude and everything off of it. And then the playing style, like you talked about. And he goes for it. This is not check down Charlie. He's like, check it down. What? I only check it down when the guy's double covered downfield. If he's single covered, I can fit it in there. So, yeah, I love that. I mean, my fun hang, I got to go to the G-Men. I'm going to go to the G-Men and give them some love right now. They're fun to watch right now.
The frat duo?
They are. And I'm fresh off of Biasy on Thursday night there and what they did for me to have fun in person and talk a little crap to Eagles fans in person, all in good fun. And I had a lot of fun with the Eagles fans in the parking lot and everything. But, Jackson Dart plays like his hair's on fire. No one has told Cam Scatterbo that he's 215 pounds. He thinks he's like Night Train Lane or Bronco Nagurski.
Yeah.
Like he thinks he's 260, like Brandon Jacobs back in the day. But how could you not like watching those two and their kamikaze way in which they play? They can work the system. They can play backyard type of football. And, man, they've added just so much juice to the Giants and the Giants fan base.
Giants got the right energy right now. Joey Davis says Sam Darnold plus JSN are fun hangs.
That is for sure. It's only a matter of time before they bombs away at some point during the football game.
I'm with you on that. Hammer0786 says Carolina needs some props. I think Uncle Rico would be a good hang.
Well, definitely.
His attitude is made of the right stuff.
Right. I'm not sure if I'm ready for fun hang yet, but they're having moments of fun in Carolina where I go, oh, okay, T-Mac and of course Rico Dowdle. I am one that goes, when a team can become just road grading, whoop your ass up the middle run, I do like that. I'm old school like that, and I do like watching Carolina do that.
All right, so now we get to the one that's we got another one here.
Right.
Yeah. Green LQ said, OMG, the Patriots are kings of the East.
I would second that because Drake May has become like must-watch TV.
Without a doubt.
So he was on my short list of ones as well that I thought, like, man, he's been a lot of fun to watch the last 4 weeks.
Throws the ball down the field.
Yeah.
He'll take off and run.
Right. Stiff arms people. He thinks he's Derrick Henry.
Yes.
I mean, it's really good.
He plays. He wants to play like Josh Allen without being as big as Josh Allen.
Yeah,
he's not small in any way.
No.
Josh Allen's just gargantuan.
Yeah, he's longer and skinnier than this, right? But what's Homie 33 saying here?
You like this? He said Connor is NBC legend having to deal with the excuseler Barry. I'll have more on that in a second. Evil J and the Simsisms all week long.
He is a legend.
The people that watch our fantasy show call Barry the excuseler.
there because he's always got some like.
Always.
Well, this is what happened. Let me just tell you.
Every time.
I mean, this guy didn't block, so this guy didn't run good. I didn't know this guy wasn't going to show up tonight. I heard all his excuselers in the viewing room.
You deal with it.
Yeah.
He's 0-6 in our show league right now.
Oh.
The fantasy guy in our show league is 0-6.
I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah, so he's
glad.
got a lot of injury excuses.
Right.
So that's why he's called the excuse.
Oh, he told me some quarterback he was playing in his fantasy.
Jayden Daniels got hurt.
You're right. And he played Justin Fields last week or something in one league.
It's always
what happened?
He's the excuser.
I know.
It's a well-earned nickname.
So I'm glad you told me 0-6. I'm going to write that down because next Sunday I'm going to ride him hard all week.
That's a good football night content for you. The tough hang, Chris. This one is an easy one. The Dolphins locker room. Not a place I'd want to be right now. You go on your phone and you see your quarterback saying that it's everyone else right now, not showing up to meetings, showing up late. Then the coach the next day kind of says like Tua knows better than to do that here.
That was.
I feel like it's a silent locker room. Like everyone's probably looking around like, and you got your friends and you joke around with your friends, but as a whole unit, I wouldn't want to step in.
No, it's not good right now. Nothing's good right now. You know me, I'm a little bit more of a defender of Mike McDaniel than the rest of the public. I know he's not perfect, but damn, I mean, it's been the most exciting offense in football for the last 4 years. I mean, by far. He's been handcuffed by a quarterback who can't hold the ball in the pocket and can't throw the ball down the field, but yet they still make it work. I know he talks and goes in weird angles in interviews that can annoy people. So what? I get it. I'm glad he took a little stand there against Tua. You know, I think it caught him off guard Sunday, where he was like, okay, yeah, he's trying to be a leadership, but then he goes home and he probably thinks about it a little bit. He sees it, gets to like digest it, and he had the same thought that me and Devin McCourty and a bunch of other people in football had too. Like, what? That's not what a leader does. That's the opposite of what a leader does. And yeah, so I feel for Mike McDaniel down there right now. And you know me, I think Chris Greer deserves to be more on the hot seat than he does.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation.
But you're right. That locker room is real tough.
Yeah.
And here's one that's
who do you got?
Well, this is a pet peeve of Simms forever. I mean, the football field. First off, I'm all, you know me. Grass field should be on every NFL field in all of football. Every major college football. All these teams and colleges are making way too much money, right? And why are we sacrificing the health of million-dollar athletes, especially in the NFL, that you're going to have to pay for and get nothing for because you saved a few $100,000 on cutting the grass? I can't stand that crap.
It's insane.
Right? And the Steelers field, which is grass nonetheless, but this is the double whammy. We gave you grass as a player, but we're going to let everybody in the world play on it, so it's just absolute crap when you play on it on Sunday in the NFL. It's the only major sport in the world they make their players play on lesser than surfaces. The AstroTurf, the synthetic grass, it's not safe. It's not safe. None of the players want to play on it. But to have a grass field like we saw on Sunday where the divots were like 4 feet big and the kicker turned his ankle because of the divots in the field, you lost Miles Killebrew, their best special teams player, because of divots in the field, that's inexcusable in the NFL. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It bothers me. Anybody that knows me knows I've been going off about this for a while. I hate it. And you know what I even hate more? Because I thought we were in like, hey, Americans first, and we're worried about our country. I thought that's where we were right now. We're going to put grass field in for all the World Cup guys to come in.
Right.
Because they have it in their contract where they don't play on turf or artificial surfaces. That's what they have. So we're going to bow to them, but here we are with the people in our country. Screw you, play on a worse surface. I hate it, and the owners the players should make more of a stand about it, and I'm going to continue to yell about it, and the owners should be ashamed of themselves, really.
Well, in 2 weeks, you'll be on that field for football night.
Oh, yeah, they better be in tip-top.
You better walk across it and do a test.
I will promise you, I will make comments if it's not in good shape in pregame.
As you should. I'm with you all. This has been a problem across stadiums, but at MetLife as well. MetLife surface is the worst in the league. And they don't change it. No. The Jets and the Giants have not fixed that issue.
We can find a way to have a grass field and still have concerts so the owner can make their money. Stop with all the bull crap. Stop. There's plenty of technology out there now where we can have a grass field, we could put something over it, and Taylor Swift can still come and have a concert and people can walk on the field surface there. Come on. But it might cost $100,000. Oh, no. They got to figure that out. It's just not fair to the players in the league.
Aaron Rodgers called it borderline unplayable.
There you go. There you go.
That is per Alan Saunders on Twitter. And also, apparently, so the Steelers do not own Acrisure Stadium and have no say in whether or not Pitt plays games there.
Right.
Which is
that's the problem.
These are the problems, though, across the board. I actually know
Tampa has this problem.
Yes,
because USF plays there.
Right.
So
you're just that's the hand you're dealt.
Early in the year when I was on the Bucs, it was the best field in football. By end of November, it was such a fugazi field. It was spray painted dirt. It's all it was, and it stinks, and it shouldn't be like that. That you have to play like that as a grown man who's making millions of dollars in the NFL.
Well said. I'm with you all the way, Chris.
Thanks.
I know all the fans feel the same way. They're tired of watching half the league stars have torn ACLs.
The concussions, the
ankles.
ACLs, they're mainly happening on the artificial surfaces. Yeah. Period. And that's where we got to get it out of us.
All right, that's it for show 1.
Boom, show 1 done on a Tuesday. All right, hope everybody enjoyed the YouTube Live. You know where we're at. We're going to get done with this. We're going to tape the Wednesday pod right after this.
It is Roten.
So it is Roten. We've already done it. So continue. Come tomorrow. Check us out. Yeah, it's taped. We're going to break a bunch down, okay? And off of that, we're going to look forward to next week and all that. But as always, thanks for driving the ship.
Yep.
All right, everybody, peace out. Thanks for tuning in to Chris Simms Unbuttoned with my man Connor Rogers. We'll see you tomorrow. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out, homies. We'll see you. Yo, homies, it's time to watch some games. That's right. We're on to the NFL season here with Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, Sunday night recaps after every game, and much, much more.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, homies. Remember, subscribe. Peace out.